Hello everyone and welcome back to ILR. My name's Cliffy and I'll be taking you through the proceedings as they happen tonight in America. You can just see, I think that's Zenki taking a very rather strange line. Well, that was a Red Bull of some sort. I think it might... Yeah, it was Zenki, sorry, my bad. So yeah, Zenki taking an interesting line on his outlap. And again, you can see him just exploring the track limits. But a little recap what happened last week. Zenki from pole, I do believe, got another comfortable win. He's beginning to bring himself into the title fight, which is something I didn't expect myself to say when I started commentating ILR3, because the likes of Spaghetti Chips and Tough to Handle, they've both had recent, whether it be bad races taken up by DC, they've not been getting the consistent points as to what we've all been knowing them to get, and Zenki's taken full advantage of that and could indeed win the title. So from here on out things are going to get interesting, and I'm looking now and I think Tough to Handle is racing under a new gamer tag. It is GP1_Schumacher, so he is racing. This is Tough to Handle's new account, I do believe. And for a moment now I thought he weren't racing then, but he's here. Don't forget to mention Zenki's number. Oh, okay. So Zenki has incredible pace then, if he's number one in the world on TT around here. So let's stay with Tough to Handle, who's had a torrid first couple of races, and he'll be hoping to bounce back strongly, as will his championship rival Spaghetti Chips. And Matthew has left. I don't know if this is a mass disconnect. I think Lewis has had problems as well trying to get into the lobby. J. Cole, that's Lewis 11. Can't find his name. Lewis 11004. And Tough to Handle now has a bit of traffic. Luckily the cars moved out of the way. And one person who'll be looking to get a good result is Matthew. Last week he got stuck in the pits for, I'm going to say, at least 20 to 25 seconds. So I think he still finished at 4th or 5th. So Matthew will be looking for revenge tonight, and hopefully he'll be able to get that elusive podium he's been looking for. He's looked good the last couple of races, it must be said. So hopefully he can have a good race here tonight. And Cohen setting the fastest lap with a 31.4 on the ultra side. Let me get this up, so you can see people opting for a bit of a mix between the ultra soft and the softs. Matthew, of course, the one lagging out on super soft tyres, but everyone for the most part opting for the harder tyre today, which is of course the soft tyre. Now, in terms of strategy, ultra soft to soft tyre is what I could see people doing, and people outside the top 10 might even try to go super soft to soft, just to try and maybe catch up to the guys on them ultra soft tyres towards the end of their stint. The ultra soft guys should be able to take them tyres at least 9, maybe even 10 laps before they do indeed decide to pit and fit on a set of softs, which will easily go to the end from there. So just find someone else. Let's go on board with Nigel. I haven't really seen much of Nigel. I think he's on an outlap, I do believe. There's a Red Bull behind him. I think that's Zenki. It's not. Zenki's in the 3rd sector, so is Zenki going to set this lap? Ooh. From what he said, I believe Zenki is going to start at the back of the grid. Now, don't quote me on that, but his words, not mine. Let's quickly go on board with Spaghetti Chips, who's about to finish that lap on the ultra soft tyres, so the quicker of the tyres here this weekend. As he comes around the final corner, looks quite clean. He slows to the line, so maybe Spaghetti Chips opt in for an alternate strategy. He might want to start on them maybe super softs, because maybe himself, maybe he's not confident on them ultra softs, or that he'll get to the window to where he needs to pit for the soft tyres. In terms of the weather, qualifying of course looks sunny. Doesn't look like there's any rain clouds in the air. So for the most part, I think this could be a dry quali, and a dry race because we've got people qualifying on the softs. We've got Dartbolt in third with a 32.5, so that's a very good lap from the Haas driver. And his next competitor is his teammate DeLuca96, who I believe is replacing someone. He's either reserving or he's fully replaced the person who was in the Haas. But anyway, DeLuca proving that he has got the pace to keep up with his teammate, at least only 4 tenths behind on the same compound. So let's see if we can go on board with someone else. Who else is on the lap? Rink, who of course we lost early on last week in Japan due to a desync incident with himself and Tough to Handle. So he'll be looking to get redemption tonight because he's definitely one where he'll just have pace all of a sudden and can really pull out a good result. So hopefully he can do that tonight. I believe he was on a lap, so he might have got invalid, so he might be going for another lap. So we'll see what Rink does. See if he does pit. And he does. And another thing to note, I think Lewis has replaced Harry, who did leave the league due to personal reasons, so hopefully he can return in the near future. And Lewis, again, you know, when he started reserving at the start, he was very, very quick. Of course, that incident in Monaco with Flexi sort of is the talking point of his season so far. But no doubt, now that he's got a full-time seat, he'll be looking to show what he can do, prove all the haters wrong as such. As we've lost Matter from qualifying, I don't know if that's deliberate or not. See if we can't go on board with him. So I believe Matter must have binned it either through the S's or through Sector 2, I'm going to say. Because again, Sector 1, of course, it's so easy for the back end to step out through that fast S section, and of course Sector 2 is sort of just that long straight down into the heavy braking zone. And of course Sector 3, tight, twisty, traction friendly sector to say. As you go on board with Funaid now, again, someone who's impressed me the last couple of rounds. He's really come out of nowhere in terms of his pace. Because when I first started commentating ILR3, he was sort of down at the back, and then all of a sudden he's getting top 5 finishes like it's nothing. So hopefully Funaid can have another good race tonight. But slightly wide on exit though. I mean, that is allowed. He most probably didn't get valid for that. It's during them S's where you need to be careful on them track limits. So of course time penalties being the main talking point tonight. Through Sector 1, of course, you're going to see people pick up at least, I'll say, 3 seconds. And you'll see some people pick up 6, maybe even 9. Let's see who can get into double figures first. I'll try and keep an eye on that throughout the race. But again, that can have a huge impact on who wins or loses this race. So we're back on with Funaid, who's now on overtake for Sector 3. Going to the fast left-hander, sort of blind apex. Doesn't want to go too wide on exit, otherwise you'll find yourself with an invalidation. But luckily keeps it on track into the last corner, not getting too much to the curb, and he goes nowhere. So I'm guessing he must have got invalid on that lap. And Cohen again, 30.9, so Cohen proving to everyone that he has got the pace today, so watch out for him. And again, Nigel, I mean, what did he set that time on? He set that time on Ultrasoft as well. Okay. Tough to Handle goes into second place with a 31.2, so 3 tenths behind Cohen. So I think what's happened here, the last couple of weeks, everyone's just sort of not trying to make a name for themselves, but proving that they have got the pace to run at the front, and it's putting pressure on Spaghetti Chips and Tough to Handle, who at the start of the season, it was between them for the title, and all of a sudden you've got Zenki now, who joined, I think, after Spain or at Spain, and he's now within touching distance. So I think these two just need to focus on the tile and not focus on everyone else, because I think that's what they make the mistake of doing every week. They focus on the people ahead of them instead of where each other are on track. So hopefully these last couple rounds, because this is a crunch time now for all three of these guys, tough to handle. Spaghetti Chips and of course Zenki now. So, you know, every little mistake now is going to be just a little bit more of a mistake. You know, an odd point lost here or there will definitely start to come into play now. As we see Dark Bolt on a set of Super Softs. So let's see what he can do on them Supers. We'll come back to him. DeLuca is on the set of the Ultra Soft, so let's see again what he can do on them. Of course his teammate, he is on the lap, so let's stay with DeLuca as he comes down the back straight. Sector 2, of course, one of the easiest sectors throughout the whole calendar, so it's a couple corners and a long straight. So, you know, pretty hard to lose time to anyone here, but DeLuca revving that car out in 7th gear, making that engine scream, and again making it scream as he comes to the end of Sector 2. Now the tight twisty technical bit, Sector 3. Doesn't want to get on the pedal too early through here because the back end will step out, clips the apex nicely. Back end slightly stepping out, but manages to keep it under control as Zenki sets a 30.5. I'm not surprised in the slightest. DeLuca coming to blind left-hander, takes it very nice and decides to pit. So let's go back to his teammate Darkbolt, who's on the set of the Supersoft tyres, so the middle compound here today. So judging by people qualifying on the Supers, I'm going to guess this is a dry race, or there could be rain towards the end, who knows. But Darkbolt warming up his tyres, so I mean, that Darkbolt must have got invalid for the S's. And Zenki, yes, you did see that, he has been disqualified, so I'm guessing he didn't mean to set a lap and has decided to disqualify himself, so he is going to be starting last. So I mean, he did say it's going to be a Cliffy-esque drive today, so let's hope he can pull it off. I for one hope he can pull it off, because it would be great to watch and be good to see him make his way through the field. And Matt just put in the chat, quali ban as well as a 20-second penalty. That is tough. But I didn't even realise. I completely forgot about what happened last week. So yeah, Matt of course quali ban, so he's out, so he's last as well with Zenki. And yeah, so while we wait for Darkbolt and the other guys to come out for their last runs, I want to quickly go on board with Aero Specialist, because he hasn't exactly set a time yet. So is he trying to set a lap? Yes, he is. So while we watch Aero Specialist go around on track, I'm going to take a quick look in the chat. So I know Lewis is in the chat. Hello Lewis, hello J. Cole, hello Matter and Shadow. Welcome all to this live stream. I do hope everyone does enjoy this race. I for one think it's going to be an absolute cracker with Deluxe, Zenki and Matter at the back, and of course Matthew, who I don't think has gotten back in the session yet, so whether Matthew just can't get in or not, I don't know. I am going to quickly check in the chat, because if he needs an invite I will quite happily send him one for him to get back in. Rip. I just saw Flexy's message wanting to set up. Where is Matthew? Where is Matthew? Alright, so let's quickly retweet the old link. Try to get some more viewers in. Well, you know, Matt, you never know, mate. Stranger things have happened. As you see, oh, Aero Specialist did set that 32.3. So again, that's a good lap for him. So if he can go here, I don't think he'll make it back in the pits. And you can see there, most of the field opt in for the Supersoft tyres. So this is going to be a very interesting race, because you've got the top 5 all on Ultras, and that's going to be basically solidify their space in that top 5. So they're all going to come out again on another set of Ultra Softs. with Dougie setting a 31.5 on Super. So watch out for Dougie, because Dougie looks incredibly quick today, as does Konzo. So watch out for them two towards the end of quali. Yellow's in sector 1. Let's see what's happened. Let's quickly go to that. Can't really see anything. Tough to handle. We started his first final lap, so if he gets invalid, which yeah, it must be invalid now. Is he going to back out? I don't think he got invalid, so he's going to carry on. Cohen as well, just starting a lap. Current pole sitter. He'll want to keep it that way if he can. Tough to handle though, has to gain 3 attempts. Let's see sector 1. 24.7, so he's a 10th down on his own time, so he needs to gain now 4 tenths if he wants to even have a sniff at pole position, which I don't think will happen for him. As we see a McLaren of, I believe that is Spaghetti Chips, on an outlap on a set of supers as well, and Lewis has popped into 3rd place with a 31.3 on supers. That's an incredible lap from Lewis. So I did say with that full seat now, he is going to start to make people realise that he is quick, and he's beat the likes of Nigel and Konzo on the same set, but Dougie and Konzo have, well, Dougie I don't think might make it, well, he ain't going to make it out, there's only 10 seconds left. So we've got kind of a mixed grid here. Funaid has stayed in 6th, I do believe, on them supers. Konzo, of course, on the ultras, so he'll no doubt improve. And Spaghetti Chips is on a set of supers, and there's cars everywhere. Everyone get out of the way. Ooh, definitely losing the rear there. I think Cohen improved to a 30.8, I'm not too sure. Tough to handle improved to 31 flat. So it's all eyes on Spaghetti Chips, who, in my opinion, qualifying just isn't his strong point. He always seems to qualify quite, not low down, but sort of bottom half of the top 5. And then he'll have tough to handle with 3rd or 4th. But Spaghetti Chips does get it back all in the race, because his race pace is definitely better than most people's on the grid. DeLuca is in 10th. So that drops Spaghetti Chips now down to 11th. So the amount of pressure that must be on this man coming through this 2nd sector must be insane. He's now in the 3rd sector. So is he going to pull it up into overtake? He does. He's pulled it up into hot lap. So this is the last person to cross the line apart from Owen as well. Owen's about to cross the line. Owen goes 12th. That pushes Spaghetti Chips down to 13th. Last corner now, and he's got the lap done. Doesn't want to lose the rear. He crosses the line and goes 4th. What a lap from Spaghetti Chips. And there's me saying that his qualifying pace isn't up there, but he's just shut me right up. So I'm just going to sit here and admire that absolute belter of a lap. Of course, didn't beat Lewis, who was on the supers as well, but that's it. Crucial for him to be with his title rival. Tough to handle. It is Cohen who gets pole with Tough to Handle in 2nd, Lewis in 3rd, Spaghetti Chips in 4th, Nigel in 5th, Flexi 6th, Dougie in 7th, Funaid in 8th, Konzo in 9th, and Larkin runs out the top 10. Just outside the top 10 we have Matthew, who did get back in the session, and DeLuca in 12th, with Owen 13th, Aero Specialist 14th, J. Cole 15th, Dartbolt 16th, Showman in 17th, Rink 18th, Matter, who of course had that quali bad, in 19th, and Zenki, who indeed chose to start at the back. And just as I look in the chat, Spag and Chips, shut up Tony. Don't worry mate, my lips are sealed. My lips are absolutely sealed mate. You pulled off an absolute masterclass there. Well done to you mate. Fair play. Fair play. So while these guys sort out their strategies, I'm going to quickly go for a drink and I'll be back for the formation lap. So, a couple of stand-up performances from qualifying. Definitely Lewis, Spaghetti Chips, who both are starting on a harder tyre in third and fourth, so they've definitely got the pace here today. Flexi as well in sixth, on the harder tyre as well, so well done to Flexi as well, being sort of the third lead runner on the Supers. Excuse me. So hopefully he can have a good race and not get any wing damage, which we've seen him do recently. I mean, some of them hasn't been his fault, and you know, he's just been very unlucky, as some of the other guys here as well. But further down, you've got Funaid in 8th, not really where he wanted to be. He must have got his last lap invalid, or just didn't set a clean lap. Konzo in 9th as well, someone who you'd expect to be up there by now. And Matthew in 11th, of course, had left the session more or less at the start of qualifying, so I don't know how long he's been in the session for, but he is here in 11th. DeLuca as well, on the so the first of the soft runners, and hopefully he'll be looking to make a good impression to the lead. We've got Owen in 13th, again someone who we all expect to be out lap 2, lap 3. What are the bets today? What lap is Owen going to be out on? I'm going to say lap 4. That's my prediction for Owen to be out of this race. Jacob as well, someone who you don't expect to be down in the bottom reaches of the grid in 15th. Then we've got Dartbolt and Showman, who, you know, they both got pace, so they must have got their last round invalid. Rink as well, someone who you don't expect to be more or less last, and Mao, of course, 7 at quali ban, and Zenki, who indeed wanted to start at the back. So interesting to see how Zenki finds starting at the back. But all eyes are on Cohen, tough to handle, Lewis and Spaghetti Chips, as they all now get ready for the start of this race. This camera angle is absolutely terrible. There we go. We're going to go to 3, 4, 5 red lights and lights out. And I think Cohen's got the better start there. The Mercedes, or I believe Nigel, they're getting past Lewis. So now Nigel's up into third. Cohen keeps the lead easily with sort of Spaghetti Chips mussing his way through on Lewis. There's another, I think that's Showman off at the back. Zenki's up into 18th, but Cohen keeps the lead from tough to handle with Lewis in third, Spaghetti Chips in fourth, Nigel in fifth, all over the back of that McLaren. Of course, Spaghetti Chips on them harder tyres. Oh, there's a spin. That's Flexi. Oh my god. I don't know whether Konzo might have got wing damage from that, but oh my god, there's cars off as well. Tough to handle's out. Oh my god, Spaghetti Chips is out. No, he's not out. He's off the track. Oh my god, what has gone on here? Zenki's down in 19th, so I think Zenki's had a bit of contact with someone as well. He's got no front wing at all. There's yellows in sector 2. Showman's down in... I don't know what's happened to Matar. What has gone on? What have I missed? I mean, apart from Flexi's rear end stepping out, which I got on stream, I mean, you got to feel for Zenki, and I think Aero Specialist might have a little bit of wing damage as well. But Owen is in the top 10 from out of nowhere. But I think Owen has got slight wing damage. Just have a look. He has, I think, on the left side. Or it's just me being at... No, he hasn't. It's just the understeer on lap 1 and the dirty air effect. But Matthew, look at this, he's up into 8th, he's all over the back of J. Cole. Can he make the move down the inside? He's going to go for it regardless because he's got more of his car. Down the inside, Matthew goes into turn 1. Terrible camera angle, Konzo's still there on the outside. Zenki gets a 10-second time with a corner cutting. And J. Cole has to back out of that and let Matthew go. So Matthew up into 7th place. Owen still in 10th and he's off the track. Owen, I think he has got wing damage because there's no way he should be driving. I think he has. He looks like he has anyway. He's now starting to get the potential dart bolt, air assist and DeLuca all on the back of his rear end. But going back up to the front, Cohen with a 2-second lead to Nigel in 2nd, Lewis in 3rd, and we've got Dougie. Don't know what he was trying to do there, maybe trying to fake Lewis into going down the inside, but Dougie doesn't think about doing that. Matthew still in 7th place, still going strong. Hopefully he can have a good race. Got J. Cole still behind Matthew, and then we've got the train. Dartbox managed to get past the train, that is Owen, and now we've got Aero Specialist looking to go up his inside. Is he? I feel like he had a little bit of a think about it, but this will be surely where Aero Specialist makes the move, because the dirty air effect is in full effect on it. You can just see how much he's understeering there, but he manages to keep the car. Cohen of course sets the fastest lap of the race, and dart bolt lagging just a tad there. I might put Owen off as Aero Specialist starts to reel in Owen. He's going to have a bit of a toe, he's going to go for it. Definitely went for it. Owen did defend it, and Owen stays in 11th place. So let's see how Owen copes through this S section. Every lap I've seen him, he sort of understeered off, and you can see there. Oh, Nigel's had an off. Nigel is off. He's got his wing still. J. Cole's going to try to get through on him as well. Oh, Nigel was off again. And J. Cole says thank you very much. Matthew now up into 6th. He's all over the back of Larkin as well, who's had a fantastic start. And Funnade in 4th. Wow. You know what? I have not been paying attention to Haas there. That's Dartbolt. He's off. Dartbolt has decided to just leave straight away. Dougie and Lewis. Dougie down inside of Lewis. Lewis can't do nothing about that. Lewis tries to hang it around the outside. Dougie defends it superbly. Now Dougie's up into 2nd place. And up in front, Cohen, well, Sunday drive, did anyone say? 4.5 seconds a gap now. Aero Specialist and Owen are going at it side by side. Aero Specialist is off, oh my god! He's off, he's broken his wing, I don't know what happened there. I caught it too late, and he'll have to pit. But Spaghetti Chips now back up into 11th place. Yeah, I think he must have slight wing damage from what happened at the start. If he doesn't, then he's got a good chance here at finally gaining some points on Tough to Handle, who I don't know how he retired from the session. I guess we'll find out after the race. Nigel and Showman are going at it. Nigel in the pits, Showman stays out, so that's just him going into the pits. Larkin and Matthew going into battle. Matthew with the place, and Matthew, his first couple of laps has shown some incredible pace, and Larkin as well. Spaghetti Chips getting past Owen as well. I think Owen is starting to pay for that wing damage. You have to be careful through here though, because he might send him off due to desync. Owen decides to back out. And DeLuca keeps the watching brief on this everlasting battle for 10th between Spaghetti Chips and Owen. Owen gets an incredible launch, and Owen for that gets a 3-second penalty, so he's got 6 seconds already. And it is lap 4. This is the famous lap. Spaghetti Chips back down the inside. Owen says you can have the place, I'll have the DRS. Who will get the DRS? Let's have a quick look, and it is Spaghetti Chips. That is unfortunate. And DeLuca, look at the run he's got on Owen now. Owen tries to defend, DeLuca switches back to the outside. Owen cannot defend the outside now. He's made his move, and he has defended superbly from DeLuca, who's had a good start to his race, so not getting into any trouble. He's just kept it clean. And yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's been an explosive start to the race. I mean, I have no idea what happened at the start there. I just saw Flex's car sideways, and then Tough to Handle out the race. Absolutely incredible. But that's helped the likes of Larkin, Matthew and Funaid, who is going into battle with Lewis now. So Lewis in quali had the pace over these guys, but now race pace is kicking in, and Funaid is saying, look mate, I'm here, give me the space. Lewis gives him the space, and now let's go on board with Matthew. Is Lewis going to dive down his inside? Yes he is. They're very close, too close. It's like human centipede right there. Oh, Matthew trying to go around Lewis's outside. That ain't going to work. He'd have to find another way through. Wait for DRS, because he's now attracted the attention of Larkin, who again, like Matthew and Funaid, has had a fantastic start to this race. And Lewis he's actually had the best start. He's kept out of trouble, but his pace is showing now, because now Lewis is under threat from Matthew. He's going to try to go around his outside. Yes he is, brakes way later than Lewis. So that will give Matthew a bit of a better exit, but can't get past. Lewis goes wide. That's going to allow Matthew to go around the outside. Oh, losing that back end all the time. Matthew right round the outside. Oh, slight contact. They keep on track though, and that is a fantastic move by Matthew to go up into 4th place. So this man said he's got pace, and he's definitely shown it today. And Lewis done all he could there to try and keep Matthew at bay, but just couldn't, and he has decided to pit on. Oh, he's missed the pits. Oh, that is an absolute mare from Lewis. He's missed the pits. He's now got to lose many positions, because that was an absolute bottle job from Lewis there. I wondered what he was doing. That's allowed Larkin to go past. That's now going to bring a Konzo in. And yeah, this race is far from dull at the moment, with Matthew now closing in on Funaid. That Renault definitely doing the work here today. Up in front, Cohen, the gap still 4 seconds, but it is coming down slightly. So Dougie on them super softs, he's managed to gap Funaid, and he can now focus on trying to close that 4-second gap to Cohen. Of course, is the lone ultra soft runner in this race. Spaghetti Chips and J-Co are going into battle. I think Spaghetti Chips was an easy move for him, so he's making his way up the field again. So at the moment he's gaining a lot of points on the likes of Tough to Handle and Zenki, who of course had his wing broken on lap 1. Lewis and Larkin going into battle. Lewis getting back past. And now is Lewis going to pick this lap? If he does, try not to bottle it, Lewis. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to go on board with Lewis here, just to see if he does make it this time. Because them tires must be screaming at him if he's wanting to pit this early on in the race. Or he might be going for a 2-stop, who knows. But Lewis, is he going to pit this lap? I'm going to go on board with him. And he is pitting. Yes, he is. Oh. And he makes it into the pits this time, does Lewis. Yellow's in sector 3. Who is that? Don't know who that is. They're gone now, whatever they were. So now Zenki's actually gained a lot of time, considering he's more than a pit stop down on these guys. So we've still got a chance here today at getting some solid points. J. Cole has decided to go into intermediates, so that's always nice to see. So bright green intermediates. Is the track even wet? I don't think so. That's a definitely wrong strategy call from J. Cole there as he comes out the pits, and I think he knows, yep, he's pulled off. I think he's decided to let everyone go, and then he's going to call it a day. So he's carrying on, so fair play to him if he carries on. But Funaid and Dougie going into battle. Funaid down the inside. Matthew sort of backed off from this battle, and Funaid is now the one with the pace, but Matthew is taking a watching brief. I'm going to try and do it like this from now on, just to see. And Dougie now trying to go back down Funaid's inside. Funaid defends the outside, gets the better exit, but look at this Dougie going for a Max Verstappen move. No, he doesn't, just can't get the turn in. And now he has to watch the back of that Toro Rosso. But he might be able to get back past into turn 1 if he can get a better exit. Again, it's like he's understeering quite a lot there, but Funaid losing the back end. That's going to keep Dougie within a shout. Larkin is in the pits on lap 6. So these Supersoft guys really can't take them tyres that long. As Spaghetti Chips are back up into 6th place, so he's definitely gaining places now. And J. Cole, to my amazement, is still going. I mean, fair play to the lad. I mean, I would have just retired and called it a day. But Lewis and Owen now. Owen, well, Lewis has to go round the outside there. That's a great move from Lewis to get that move done. And now Dartbolt now is trying to get in on this. See if we can go on board with Dartbolt. Is he going to go around the outside? Oh, wing damage for Dartbolt. Horrendous, horrendous, horrendous. And Dartbolt. Well, to be fair, that's Owen. Wait, has Owen got wing damage? I don't think so. Dartbolt was the one who got wing damage, yeah. Front right. So I don't know what Owen's playing at. I think Owen might... Oh, he's lost the rear again. Oh my god. That Sauber does not want to play. And Owen almost hit it, almost crashing straight into the camera. So Owen having a torrid start to his race. Cohen finally pits on them ultra soft tyres. And Zenki now being almost overtaken by Nigel there. So this is an interesting little battle between Nigel and Zenki. Of course, they both wouldn't have seen each other that much on track. So this could be an interesting battle between the two of them. Oh my god. Oh, he's got to be careful he comes back on track there. Aero Specialist getting a time penalty. Nigel is all over the place. Aero Specialist, he's gonna wait until the DRS, of course. He's gonna get a better exit. And now he's going to go down the inside. This is a terrible camera angle. Absolutely terrible. Thank you, game. Oh, slight contact. Aero Specialist says thank you very much, does he? No, he doesn't, because Nigel is still there. They're going to be side by side through the S's. What are these camera angles, game? Aero Specialist has to back out. But Spaghetti Chips now right behind Lewis. So again, this is 4th position. And does he go down the inside? Lewis does give him the space. And Lewis, to be fair, that is a great exit. Of course, Spaghetti Chips will have the benefit of the DRS now, so maybe that was something he shouldn't have done. But Lewis does go defensive, so he isn't giving this one up without a fight. Lewis still down the inside. Spaghetti Chips gives him the space, goes off track. But Spaghetti Chips down the inside. Lewis still round the outside. So Lewis is still there. Is he going to go for it? Oh, he does. Oh, Dougie gets a 5-second stop go for speed in the pit lane. That's going to be crucial for his race. And Lewis, that dirty air effect on here is absolutely disgusting. As Lewis gets the time penalty for his worries. And DeLuca now right up behind Matar. Again, these two have never seen each other on track because, of course, DeLuca joined in recently. And to be fair to Matter, he's done a good job. 4th place from the back. So this could be a good race for Matter tonight. Oh, DeLuca almost losing the rear. Oh, he almost lost it on exit there. Had to fight the rear there just to keep it in line. As Matter gets away just a little bit more. And Owen gets another time penalty, so Owen having an absolute disaster class today. He started off so well, and then just slowly but surely starting to fall away. I mean, he's still in 12th, so he hasn't fallen away that much. So we've still got a chance of getting some points here today, if we see a couple more retirements. But DeLuca just can't seem to stay with that Renault rather than Matter at the back. Showman making the move on Rink, but still this is the closest battle on track. Excuse me. So Conzo in the pits now. Good step from him on them super soft tyres. Matthews completely dropped off the back to Funny. The gap is 4 seconds. So you know what? I think Funade's got a really good chance here. If he can keep up this pace, just for a little while, I mean, he can pit from now and go on to the soft tyres and go to the end. But I think he's got a genuinely good chance here at maybe even winning, maybe even getting a podium. As Owen and Nigel went into battle briefly, and Owen said, "Nope, you're not getting that place, sir. I'm going to get it back off you." Here goes Owen. Oh, that is almost a risky move there from Owen, and that Sauber through this first sector looks an absolute handful to handle. Look, he's just constantly trying to correct that rear end, which is, you know, from experience, that must be absolutely horrible. But behind them, we've got Rink and Showman still going into battle. So this is definitely full position. And Rink gets a much better exit than Showman and should get the DRS as well. Oh my god! Oh Jesus! Wow. That looks so weird. So Rink's now retired from the session. But now, did Showman get wing damage? Because if he didn't, then that was a fantastic save to not smash into Rink there. Jesus. I don't think he got any wing damage. If he doesn't pit, then that is just incredible. That's a great save from him. He didn't get wing damage. Wow. Well, you got to say, what a save! What a save! Absolutely fantastic save by Showman there. Unfortunately, Rink has now retired. I don't know how he retired. I think that must have been desync. Must have been desync. But for whatever reason, he lost the back end and just, well, we hit the wall. And yeah, it's unfortunate to see, but it happens, especially with this game. Larkin on the back of Dougie. I think that's Dougie getting past Larkin, actually. It is. So Larkin got into a set of super softs. That could be interesting towards the end of this race. I mean, I don't think he'll get to the end. So maybe Larkin, hoping for an ultra soft stint at the end to maybe gain back the time he's going to lose in that pit stop. It's a good idea. Very aggressive strategy from him. As Funade decides to pit, he gets a 5-second stop go. That is crucial for his race. And Matthew gets one as well. Wow. That is absolutely crucial. Let's see if Matthew gets held in the pits, because last week he got held in the pits for an eternity. We're going to put a set of softs on, and yeah, no, he doesn't get held, which is good to see. So Matthew doesn't lose about 20 seconds this week. And up in front, Matter now leads the race. Cohen now right behind DeLuca. And this is sort of unfamiliar territory for Cohen, being the race leader and having to pass guys who, you know, haven't pitted yet, on the same compound but just are much older tyres. So this is all experience for him as he starts to close in on DeLuca and then eventually Matter as well. So Cohen just should be an easy move for him. As he opens the DRS, yes he does. ERS, has he got any of that? Yes he has. He's going to go down the inside. DeLuca doesn't make it difficult for him. So again, good to see from someone whose first race is today. Excuse me. Behind them, got Funade and Spaghetti Chips, and J. Cole had decided to call it a day as well. And Owen, for whatever reason, is down in 15th. Oh, there you go. Owen off the track. And I think that is Owen's race done with. So he did have wing damage, or has got wing damage now. So he's lost the back end after the S section. I just think, yeah, he's lost it, and there we go, wheel off. And yeah, Owen is out. Again, not what you want to see, but Owen, for the most part, will find the funny part in all of that, hopefully anyway. As Fun Aid now on the back of Spaghetti Chips, and Spaghetti Chips has found himself in a bit of a train here with Larkin being the corp of this train on the super soft tyres as well, so he should be able to get away from these soft runners, but he just can't. And now Zenki pits from the lap 1 pit stop, and Spaghetti Chips all over the back of that Ferrari, so this should be an easy move for him as we go down the back straight. But with only 32% ERS, it's going to make it difficult for him, but he's got a really good exit there. So again, he's really gaining on Larkin. He's up into overtake, rinsing the ERS, dives to the inside. Larkin, I think he knows he can't do nothing about that. And Spaghetti Chips down the inside, up into P5, which on track is 3rd, I believe. So Spaghetti Chips, he had a spin at the start. So to be fair, this is a great comeback from Spag and Chips, as you all know him in the chat. So at the moment it's a hot McLaren 2nd, 3rd. So yeah, I mean, great recovery from Spaghetti Chips as Larkin decides to pit in again. So is this going to be for a set of soft tyres? I'm not going to go on board with him because that engine screaming is deafening. Lewis now up into 7th, which 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It will be 5th when Matter and DeLuca pit, but Cohen now on the back of Matter. So you should see Cohen gain a lot through this first sector. This has been a very good stint from Matter. He can pit now, go onto a set of supers, and maybe even get a point here today. Who knows? As Cohen opens the DRS. Excuse me. Oh no, he doesn't. So has Cohen got DRS problems? We have to find out next lap, because there's no reason why I shouldn't have the DRS open. Hello Abby Odin. Hello Bill. Go on Spaghetti Chips. Yeah man, he's had a good comeback. Really good comeback. Hopefully he can get a podium at least to be well worth it. Definitely a contention for driver of the day. But Matter now off the track, so this he has to pit now. He does. So now Cohen will re-inherit the lead of this race. DeLuca, does he pit? Yes he does. So DeLuca and Matter both decided to pit on the same lap, and none of them get drive-through penalty. 5-second stop goes for speeding the pit lane. So once these two pit, the order will be as it is now. So we've got Cohen with 5.3 second advantage to Dougie in 2nd. Spaghetti Chips after a fantastic comeback up into a podium position. He's now got Fun Aid all over his rear. Lewis in 5th, and Matthew, it's time to come back at Lewis here. You can see just how much he's able to take through this first sector compared to this, but got it all wrong for the second part as Lewis, it's sort of tiptoeing on the exit there. But now look at Konzo starting to get involved in this as well. So Matthew will have to get past Lewis here. It's either here or nowhere. He's got enough ERS. It's all about whether he gets that slipstream and DRS. He does. Lewis goes to the inside. So Lewis isn't going to give this up without a fight. Matthew down the inside. Lewis gives enough space on the outside. Slight contact, but Matthew gets the move done. But Lewis is going to look to come back at him here, trying to get a better exit. He's going to dive down the inside. Oh, he definitely thought about it, but had to back out. And Matthew now secures that 5th place and can now maybe go after Fun Aid, who is still within DRS of Spaghetti Chips. And Spaghetti Chips actually catching his teammate as well, so this could be very interesting here. Is Dougie going to just let his teammate go and maybe try and catch Cohen for the win? Or is he just going to say, you know what mate, I'm going to hold you up, I'm going to prove I am just as quick, if not quicker than you, and fend you off for the rest of the race. If he does that, it will only allow Fun Aid and maybe even Matthew Lewis and Konzo all to close in. So with 11 laps remaining here, this race is far from over. While we watch Fun Aid on the attack on spaghetti chips, I am going to quickly go for another drink and I'll be back in a minute. Right on board with Fun Aid now. These three all closing in to within just over half a second to each other. So he's getting very close. Dark Bowl has decided to call it a day as well as Nigel, as I saw as I was sipping on my drink. So for whatever reason, these two have just called it a day. Maybe they just got wing damage or just thought, you know what, there's no chance of me getting points. I'm just going to call it here and save myself some time. Excuse me, as Spaghetti Chips now close to within half a second of his teammate. Again, will Dougie move out the way for him, or will he not? Oh, under braking, and Spaghetti Chips gaining a lot. DeLuca sets a 33.9, and DeLuca, to be fair to him, up into 8th. So, you know, it's like a very good debut here today in USA. Lewis as well, for the first full-time seat race in the Mercedes, doing a fantastic job as well. Matthew, you know, again, says he's got pace and he's proving it today. Top 5 finish would be great for him, but Spaghetti Chips, look at this, he's all over his teammate. He's screaming at his teammate, listen, let me go, I can catch Cohen, just let me go. I've got Fun Aid all over the back of me, mate, come on. Let's work together here. Dougie, I think he's going to let him go. Dougie, oh, I mean, Dougie just ain't got no ERS. And Spaghetti Chips is through. And Fun Aid tried to sneak his way through as well, but that didn't look like Dougie just let him through there. I think because Dougie had no ERS, he just sort of had no choice but to let him go. Got Zenki and May Showman going into battle now, so they're side by side, so this is a fight for 11th place. Of course, we saw Showman earlier make an absolutely fantastic save when Rink's rear just all of a sudden spun, and he managed to lock the brakes and not get wing damage. But Zenki had a great move around the outside, so now Zenki up into 11th place. Not the race Zenki would have had in his head, but no doubt. Oh, Fun Aid's pit. So is this a wing change for Fun Aid? It is. No, is it? Well, he's got a penalty to serve anyway. It is a wing change. So Fun Aid has had an absolute mare, and he's somehow got wing damage, and that's allowed Matthew now up into 4th place. He must have got it on the back of Dougie, because they were all quite close to each other, just remembering that now. And now Matthew now up into 4th place. You know what, I'm going to quit. You know what, no, I'm not going to check penalties. I'm going to wait until the end. So I don't know the penalty situation with everyone. I know Owen had a lot, but Owen's out, so I'm not going to I'll leave it as a little surprise towards the end of this race. And Konzo now looking to get past Lewis as well. Lewis doesn't have the DRS. Konzo's got a lot of DRS so to burn. Lewis has a lot, but not as much as Konzo. Lewis brakes later. Konzo, slight lock up on the front left. Does he dive down the inside? No, he doesn't. And Lewis lives to fight another day, but for how long? As Konzo's going to go for the exit here, trying to get a better exit. And to be fair, they both got the same exit. So this battle continues with Lewis and Konzo getting the closest battle on track, apart from Showman and Fun Aid now, but Fun Aid should be able to get away on them super soft tyres. So Fun Aid could still get points here, and funnily enough, Zenki now is up in the points as well, so Zenki will be happy with that. And Konzo down the inside of Lewis into turn 1. Konzo looks the brakes, but luckily manages to keep it. Lewis on the outside keeps the place just on sheer traction, and Konzo has to stay behind through this sector 1, which must be absolute hell right now. And you can see how much he's having to control that back end Although Lewis hasn't exactly done a great job either himself. And Lewis, is he going to concede the place? He might have to down this back straight, although if we all know Lewis will defend it and he'll force Konzo to the outside. That's Konzo now with the better exit. He's got much more ERS than Lewis, who's on 2. So I think Lewis knows that this is game, set and match now. And Lewis now down into 6th place. And he's got DeLuca now to think about, because he's only 3.9 behind. He's had a very good debut race in 7th place. As Lewis now, I think this battle's going to go right until the end of the race. As Cohen is about to start lap 21. Haven't really said much about Cohen. You know, just kept it under control, kept the race pace, kept the gap behind to about 4.5 seconds, all stint, every stint. So again, he's having a fantastic race. But Spaghetti Chips is starting to close that gap just a little bit each lap, a couple tenths here and there. So at the moment it won't be enough, but you know, Cohen as well. I mean, he won't be sweating. He knows he's got a healthy advantage to Spaghetti Chips in 2nd. And Matthew, to be fair, is starting to close in on Dougie. So Matthew could still get a podium at this, and Lewis and Konzo said this battle's going to continue, and it has, with Lewis all over the back of the Williams now. So the other way round, as last time we saw Konzo get past Lewis. Is he going to do the same? He's a bit too far back though. This needs to be a good exit from Lewis. Konzo locks up the tyres slightly, and that is a good exit from Lewis, but I think Konzo's just got the advantage there. Lewis will try it and go for a move, but he's just too far back. So Lewis has to stay behind Konzo, and this now should be Konzo going up into the distance, because Konzo does have 4 lap fresher tyres than Lewis. There's a gap now below 2 seconds there, so Matthew is gaining on Dougie, which is something I wouldn't think I'd say. Dougie isn't exactly slow. Dougie has got pace, and Matthew's taken 2 tenths out of Dougie in the 3rd sector alone. And just see up ahead, that's Spaghetti Chips there, and he is still gaining on Cohen, but at this rate it just won't be enough, and Cohen will win the race. So Spaghetti Chips is going to have to get his foot down if he wants to even put Cohen a little bit of pressure. Okay, so Shadow's saying that a lot of people, mainly pad users, are going to qualify on Supersoft. So again, it could be another Japan scenario, as we've seen previous. Pad users opt in for the softs, and people, wheel users, opt in for the super softs. And Matthew, 1.7 the gap now, so he's gaining little. I mean, if you can just gain 7 tenths or 8 tenths now, get that DRS, and he'll gain that time just by the sheer straight line speed he'll have over Dougie, almost losing the back end there. So Matthew was trying to push that Renault to a podium finish. He did say he wanted the podium today, and he's so close to getting one. It's just whether his tyres will let him, because he's definitely got the pace over Dougie. You see through this 3rd sector, 1.5 the gap. Nope, still 1.6. Okay. Now it's 1.5, and J. Cole has left. So to be fair, he's in the session for a long time. As I think Flexi's still here as well. Considering he retired on lap 1, fair play to Flexi for staying. Need to take some notes about that, about staying in sessions when I retire. But back on board with Matthew. He's still close. 1.1 now. Is he going to get that DRS? I think he is. Is 1 second dead between them. He's got the DRS. What an incredible effort by Matthew to try and get within DRS. He's done it. So now it's time for him to gain on Dougie now down his back straight. And he's not an overtake, so I don't know whether he might just be trying to save some fuel at ERS and then just absolutely hit him on the last couple laps. It's a good idea. So let's see how Matthew plays this one out. Of course, he, you know, as I said, he wanted a podium today, and here we are. Get past Dougie, Matthew, and you've got a podium, mate. Sam, yeah, I know Flexi's the host, Jacob. Well, I've been host before in ILR and I've retired. I've just literally backed out where I've just been so angry with myself. But yeah, it's not happening anymore. Now Matthew to DRS. Oh my god. Wow. Oh. Who was lagging there? Matthew or Dougie? That's what you got to ask yourself. As Lewis has pit. Lewis? Why have you decided to pit? Ultra soft tyres are going on, so Lewis is going to be absolutely OP. But that should promote Fun Aid and Zenki up a place, maybe. Where is Lewis? There's Lewis. Oh, it's tight. Zenki around the outside. But I'm going to quickly go back to Matthew on Dougie. As Matthew gets just, I think Dougie got a slightly better exit there. This is, he's gone into overtake now, so Matthew is saving ERS. What about Dougie? He's got barely, his fuel lights flashing. This is going to be a dive bomb. No, it's not. Matthew thinks we're over, but under braking, decides to go, you know what, mate, I'm here and I'm going for it. I want this podium. Matthew gets the exit. He goes down the inside. Oh, there's slight contact again. They keep it on track, and Dougie, I think, has to give that place up. Yes, he does. So Matthew now up into third place. He said he wanted a podium today. He's got it. He just needs to keep it now. But Dougie surely, with DRS, will surely be on the back of Matthew again, and maybe set him up for a move down the back straight. Matters now within DRS at DeLuca, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Zenki and Lewis are going to go into battle as well. Although I think Lewis has just got the move done. He has, being on them ultra soft tyres. Now, can Dougie do anything about Matthew? That's going to be the main battle here as we close off this American Grand Prix. It's been a fantastic race from start to now. Action at all times. Matthew goes wide on exit. That's going to allow Dougie to close just that little bit. I think Dougie might just have him here. He's going to need to brake later than Matthew, get the better exit, put the foot down. And I think Matthew, to be fair to him, has got a really good exit there. But Dougie's already starting to close in. Oh my god, this closing speed though. Jesus! Dougie down the inside. He goes for it. There's slight contact. Matthew's back down into fourth. I mean, I don't know what Dougie's closing speed was there. Jesus. As Penny says, it's always Dougie lagging. Oh, how could I forget Dougie's wizardry? That is lag. But Matthew, on the back of the wizard himself. Oh, he's so much quicker than Dougie, but just the DRS. And Dougie's closing speed down that back straight was just absolutely immense. I don't think Matthew expected Dougie to even go for the move. Now Matthew down the inside into turn 1. Terrible camera angle. Going to go on board with Dougie. He's giving him more than enough space. And Matthew says, you know what, mate, you're going to push me off, I'll push you off. But Dougie defends that superbly from Matthew. This has been a great battle to end the race. Absolutely fantastic. As Matthew pushing Dougie through that first sector. It goes wide though. Again, don't forget about Konzo as well, because look, he's only right there. So if Konzo gets DRS, then damn, we're going to have a three-way battle for the last point of this race. Matthew had the better run. Tried to go for it, but just wanted that. He wanted to make sure He's got the move done. And now surely now, as Dougie uses all his ERS, Matthew round the outside. Dougie is lagging though, so Matthew will have to be careful about that. And Dougie defends it, and look at this, Konzo. Konzo is definitely going to get involved in this matter. Down inside of DeLuca. Gives that position up, and Matter now up into 6th place from last place. Fantastic performance from Matter here. I think he's definitely, I mean, considering what happened last week with him, he's definitely done very well this week. But back up to the battle between Matthew and Dougie as Cohen starts lap 27. Spag and Chips is closing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And now Matthew, surely now, Matthew to the inside. Again, these camera angles are absolutely horrific. Dougie round the outside, a slight contact. They're still side by side. Dougie defends it though. So Dougie's defending with all his life. And I agree, Penny. Dougie is Houdini. I mean, from what I've seen with his lag, jeez. I bet Dougie's in first place on his screen. Rob Matthews battling with nothing but air. But Konzo now is in this battle now. He's within DRS. So this is absolutely fantastic. 3 cars battling for 3rd place. I don't know time penalty, so I don't know who's got it. So Matter's screwed. Poor guy. Matthew on Dougie though. Oh, surprisingly, Matthew didn't go for it. So I think Matthew is going to set Dougie up for the last lap of this race. But he's got to be careful though, because if Konzo gets too close, then Konzo will get a double toe, and Konzo will find himself on the podium. But Matthew and Dougie, I think Matthew might have mistakenly gone for a move which he didn't want to do. They're still side by side. Oh, that is close. But Dougie keeps the place, more important. Matthew gets a time penalty. That could be crucial for him finishing on the podium. But as we start the last lap of the race, Matthew, is he going to go for a move on Dougie? I mean, he's going to go round the outside, which is bold. And look at this Konzo. Can he get involved? Oh, Matthew's lost the rear. Konzo, is he going to be able to go around the outside? No, he just can't. Oh my god. Oh, Matthew, he's lost it. Konzo round the outside of Matthew. Matthew defends it, but Konzo says, you know what, mate? Caught you napping. Slight contact. Matthew says, well done, mate. You just lost me my podium. But again, time penalties could put Matthew back up on the podium. He should have just got the move done. It's all about exit now. This is Matthew's last chance. They're both red flashing. So's Konzo as well. Wow. So one of these guys could actually run out of fuel here. Matthew is going to go for it. He's late braking, but just can't get close enough to Dougie to go for a move down that inside. Konzo can't either go for a move on Matthew. This is going to be a Verstappen type move from Matthew. I can feel it. Dougie defends the inside. That will give Matthew the exit. Does it? I'm going to stay on board this so Cohen walks the line in first. Dougie, he's going wide. He's going wide, Matthew. Jesus. This is close. This is going to be close. Cohen wins the race. Dougie defends the inside. Matthew's going for the exit. Oh, he's so close. Dougie ran out of fuel. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Dougie ran out of fuel there. Matthew did get him, but with an unserved stop go, he's now down all the way in 8th. And Matter, I mean, he's got a 20-second time penalty as well, but take the 20-second time penalty away, and he's done a fantastic job to finish in 4th place. And Konzo eventually getting the podium, and Spaghetti Chips 1.7 to Cohen, so he was closing that gap at an alarming rate towards the end. But it is Cohen who takes the win with Spaghetti Chips in 2nd, and Konzo surprisingly taking 3rd place away from both Dougie and Matthew. What an end to that race that was. Jeez. So we see Cohen then celebrating his win. Spaghetti Chips in second. He's gained a lot on Tough to Handle, which is what he needed to do. And then of course Konzo taking third place away from Matthew and Dougie at the end there. So let's have a full rundown of the results. So it's Cohen taking a win, Spaghetti Chips in second, and Konzo in third, with Matter in fourth, but with a 20-second time penalty we put him all the way down in 11th place, so Matter won't score any more points. Larkin in fifth, Dougie in sixth, DeLuca in seventh, Matthew in eighth, Lewis in ninth, and Funaid run down the top 10. And Zenki, 21 seconds worth of penalties. Jesus Christ. So Zenki in 11th, Showman in 12th, and Aero Specialist finishing the race in 13th place. And from that race we lost Dartbolt, Nigel, Owen, J. Cole, Rink, Tough to Handle, and of course Flexi on lap 1. What a race that was. So if I drive today, I'm gonna say Spaghetti Chips, purely because of his spin at the beginning. You know, he was down basically in 13th or 14th place, and he managed to claw his way back to only be 1.7 seconds off the lead. He'll be kicking himself over that spin on lap 1 or lap 2. I can't really remember what lap it was, but he's my driver today, and that has been the US Grand Prix. Next week it is the Mexican Grand Prix, so not travelling too far for that one. So yeah, I hope you guys tune in next week. And yeah, my name's been Cliffy, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you guys for watching, and talk to you later. Goodbye.